Guys, we're very, very sorry.
Hi.
So we're trying out this new feature on Livestorm, and we realized that we didn't actually press the start button.
So we did like the first round of the webinar, like the last 35 minutes.
Yeah, it was great.
It was great. It was fun though. We just realized that no one was in the chat and we got no questions at all, but we just decided to do it again.
Yeah.
And probably even better.
Yeah, this time, version 2.
So this is now the start. Welcome you all to our third webinar, where we're going to face the hardest messenger marketing questions. And I'm very happy that I have a colleague of mine here from Chatchamp. It's Betsy, digital marketing manager. She has a shitload of experience in digital marketing in general, and is like in the messenger marketing space for 1 year, roundabout. And we just combined all the questions we got from clients, from prospects, from
friends,
groups,
family.
Yeah, actually all of it regarding messenger marketing. And yeah, the agenda would be something like, we want to like present the most obvious ones. So like, what is messenger marketing? Is just spam? Do people really want it? Then we want to show some cool stories how clients use messenger marketing so far. Is it GDPR compliant? This is a pretty interesting one. What are the features or the use cases you can, when you use it, brings like direct revenue? And in the end, a short wrap up what the future can bring.
For sure.
All right, so let's jump into it. So what is messenger marketing? This is an obvious one. And basically it's a possibility for businesses to send automated and personalized messages in instant messenger, which is like Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, iMessage, Viber, all that stuff. And why is it so important? So at first, in comparison to traditional channels, it's a two-way communication channel. So when you compare it to email, you just send out one email and no one would ever respond to it. But with messaging, automated messaging, you really have a conversation. You like mirror a conversation you would normally have with your friend. And that's pretty cool because you can get feedback directly. You can react to that feedback. You can personalize your message and your content way better. And as it is automated, chatbots, you are responsive 24/7, which is super cool when you want to face like customer issues and stuff. Then, yeah, as I mentioned, you can adapt like your messaging directly to the feedback. You can ask questions, get answers, use these kind of answers to build up more personalized profiles, and then send out personalized products, personalized content, all that kind of stuff, which enables you to increase your engagement from your customers. And in the end, and that's a matter of fact, that people nowadays do not spend any time in email clients, but in messengers. So you are reaching your customers in the end in the channel where they are spending the most time online. So this is a good one as well. I mean, this is basically every time when we are like presenting messenger marketing to clients or to everyone, actually, we just got asked, aren't they like spam? Do people really want it? Because in the end, these kind of messages, these automated messages, are like directly in your inbox you have with your friends. So when I got a message from my friends or I got a message, an automated message from the business, it's like next to each other. So the question is, I mean, it makes sense to ask the question, but in the end, like the metrics, the data shows the truth. So 67% in the end of your customers expect to communicate with a business in messaging apps, and these awesome metrics like 90% open rate, 30% click-through rate, they really show that people like want to get these kind of messages. Otherwise, they would not like respond and engage with it in this kind of
And it's important to mention that this isn't just like those typical marketing messages, hey, what are you doing? You're actually having a conversation. And one of my favorite features is definitely what you have right here on your screen on your right, which is shipping updates via Messenger. Because those long URL or the tracking links, they're like 30 characters or whatever. They're annoying. You have to go to the UPS site, whatever. I don't want to deal with it. But getting them in Messenger, you can get them right away. They're sent directly to me when I'm in an app or doing something else on my phone. It pops up, hey, your order is confirmed. Hey, your order is here, and I can check directly. It's not in an email that is going to get buried in my inbox because all my inbox is spam.
And the cool thing is, when you got these kind of messages, and you are like, imagine you're like chatting with your friend, and you just want to check like real quick where your order is right now. You just basically move like the chat window and go to like your messaging conversation with the business and just check the order. You don't have to go to your client, but you are like already in your messenger.
Yeah, it's really helpful, and I really like it.
All right, Betsy. I like this question a lot because Betsy is from the States, and now she is in Europe, so she is basically getting on GDPR expert right now.
Yeah.
And so, is it compliant? What can you do with messenger marketing and GDPR?
So, like Felix said, I am not from Europe, so I didn't even know what GDPR was. It sounded like, I don't know, a band name or something. But GDPR, if you guys don't know, is this really important privacy law in Europe. And if you're in Europe, you deal with customers in Europe, clients in Europe, or you have servers in Europe, you need to be careful about GDPR compliance. Now, the question that we get a lot, especially from European clients, is GDPR and Messenger, like, do they work together? And the answer is yes, they do work together, and not in only the way that you would expect. So you can put it on your website opt-ins. You can just like ask, okay, can I send it to you via Messenger? But you can also receive opt-ins in the chat. So instead of asking a customer 50 questions, can I send you this, and this, you can just, it's an actual conversation. Like, hey, we saw that you like this. Can I send you this discount code? And then in that discount code, you have the information about the product as well. And a big issue with GDPR, and honestly with a lot of tech in general, is user data. How are you going to protect it? How are you going to use it? And if your chat client can't delete and provide the user data, do not use them. You want to definitely be able to do those two features. You want to make sure that you can delete someone if they say unsubscribe or stop sending me messages, and you want to also be able to provide what data you have on that customer as well.
Okay, so to wrap it up, basically all the things you have to do with traditional channels you have to do as well. But in the end, it's easier because you have like this interactive possibility to get like more and more opt-ins for like different kind of actions.
And it's not like a flash in your face GDPR. It's an actual conversation. You don't have to get opt-ins for things that a customer is not going to use.
Yeah.
Only for relevant things.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so how is messenger marketing different? So we have two graphics here. The one on the left is a case study from Aldebina. They sell hearing aids. And on the one on the left is just their regular website. They have a form. Whenever you're doing lead generation, you have to fill out that form. And on the right, you have a Facebook ad, a send to messenger ad, which is, in my opinion, the most powerful Facebook ad that you can do. And you can get the most money, most bang for your buck with those ads. So in what Aldebina did was they had these two cases, right? They wanted to do a website and they wanted to try the ad. But the ad prompted a chat. It prompted an automated chat that qualified the lead inside of Messenger. So asking them questions like, you know, how long have you been hard of hearing? How old are you? What kind of problems are you having? Yeah. And through those answers, they can kind of like push them to the correct sales representative. And they can also kind of follow up, retarget with them on these chats. And then also another way that Messenger is different from just like sending an email is that it offers a lot more in ways of getting contact information. So this example is a website that we have that has a pop-up on it. And a normal pop-up, subscribe, put in your email. It's annoying. You don't want to do that. But this one has a contest that you can win inside of Messenger. So this is a common theme, I think, throughout this whole presentation, is that the way to grab people's attention is so much better when you can use Messenger marketing. So like for this one, you can have it in your product description. Hey, do you want to win a free week of nutritional supplements? And you can also have an exit intent pop-up that prompts people to go and subscribe to Messenger. And when they subscribe to Messenger, it's not just like a text, right? Yeah. You can include a bunch of cool things. You can ask them questions. You can offer them those results from that contest in Messenger.
Yeah, the cool thing is here is that the friction to opt in is super low. I mean, when you have an email pop-up, you have to type in your email and click on a button, basically. Yeah. And what we see here on the left-hand side is like the pop-up, and it's basically only one click. So I want to get this in Messenger, and I directly get a notification in Messenger, get a message from this e-commerce brand that I'm basically like entered the competition, the contest, and then they can also like continue the conversation. So they can ask you a couple of questions, they can do a quiz with you, they can get to know you better.
And it's not even just like the contest. We see a bunch of people use a bunch of different options. Like I said, I really love the shipping updates via Messenger. So one that we see is on product pages, get your shipping updates sent directly to Messenger. Very simple, like something that I want to click because I want to know, and it gets pretty good conversion rate.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so I want to tell you guys a story. So this is from one of our clients, Your Superfoods. They sell like nutritional mixes. And they did a really, really cool study with us where they had a Facebook send a messenger ad. And you have to excuse the ad, it's in German because they did this in German and English. Because the cool thing about Messenger is that it is bilingual, it's multilingual. You can do it in pretty much any language. So they had the German ad, but they also did an English ad as well. And so this ad says something on the lines of, hey, take our quiz. We had nutritionists make our quiz, and you can see what nutrition or what nutrients you're missing, right?
Yeah.
Got that German on point.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And so what they did was after they took that quiz, it prompted it up in Messenger, and it went through all of the quiz, asked them a bunch of questions from like, you know, what kind of workouts do you do? What's your activity level? To pick your favorite smoothie, like color.
Yeah.
So, and once it got done with that, it got a quiz recommendation. So after the quiz was through, based on those answers, you got a product that was tailored to your answers. And the coolest part about this is that it went to that product page, and if people bought that, you could retarget them later with content that was relevant to that purchase. So in this case, it was recipes using that food. And this is especially great for, I think, especially for food, but also for anything that you have to buy over and over again. You can really get the content.
Definitely. And I think that if you have the kind of information that this person like needs this kind of product because he just answered like the questions in the quiz, and then you're sending like recipes for this specific product, I mean, that's like content marketing on point, I would say. And,
for sure.
These kind of information you want to get in the channel you use the most. And that's where you see like the most, the highest engagement rates, because it's like real relevant content for your customer in the end.
I think that if you tried to do that same thing with email, you wouldn't get that many interactions with it. But because it was a messenger and it was like, hey, hope you like this, you should try this recipe, it has a lot more engagement.
And you can just ask for feedback. I mean, you send out the recipe and then one day later, you send out a message like, hey, did you already try to do it? To like create the, I don't know, the cake or whatever it is. And if yes, how was it? Was it tasty? And then you're not just like engaged with your customer, but you get like in the end like real relevant feedback about your product itself.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you then know if it's like not so tasty at all.
Yeah, maybe the cake sucks. Okay, so Felix, let's get down to the brass tacks, all right? Which features are actually profitable? Like what gives you the most bang for your buck?
Yeah, so as it's a complete new channel and you're communicating with your customers, there's like a couple of different kind of features you can use. And one of the most profitable ones so far is definitely lead generation. So if you're like selling, go ahead, like high priced products where you have like, for example, also like a sales team who calls your the people to, in the end, sell the product, then lead generation, that means like getting contact information, qualified contact information from people, in the end is like a real good thing. And normally you just have shown it, you do it like maybe an ad which leads to a website, then you have a form where you like ask these couple of questions in the form, and then in the end you have to add your contact information, and that's the traditional way.
But the drop off is pretty
super high, actually, because it's annoying in the end. And what we can do here is basically you also have the ad, but this ad leads directly to the messenger, and then you have like this natural conversation flow where you're going to ask questions to the subscribers, you're qualifying them, and that's basically, and it is so natural because you would do it the same like with a friend, right? If a friend needs something from you and you want to like know why and what and these kind of stuff, you would just type it in. And that's basically completely the same thing you can do with lead generation chatbots. And so this would be like in the funnel on the right hand side, you see like the ad would be the first thing. Then you have the qualification board. This includes all these kind of questions you're asking your prospects or your subscribers. And then in the end, they are going to provide the contact information. That's also a cool thing within the chatbot, because Facebook allows you to pre-populate these kind of contact information. So when you have like your phone number in your Facebook profile, and you're asking them inside the bot, and you have like this short blue button where like your phone number is actually pre-populated. It's just like one click. You don't have to type it in.
Super easy.
Yeah, and that in the end leads to leads. And the cool thing here, and that would be like the section of the automated retargeting, is that when people did not finish the qualification process and did not provide you with the contact information, then you have the possibility to retarget them again inside the messenger, because they are already a subscriber, and you can send them relevant content to warm them up a little bit, because most probably they were not like that far down the funnel to want to buy the product. But if you send like more content about your product, then you can warm them up a little bit, and that in the end will give you additional leads.
Okay, so I have 2 questions. The first question is, what happens to those leads?
Yeah, I mean, that depends a little bit about on your customer journey. But if you have like normally like a sales team and a CRM team, you can push these kind of contact informations directly to your CRM. And in the end, like your sales team gets a notification, they can call them right away, have this qualified information on that screen basically, and can go on and make the appointment in the end.
And my second question, this is nice, looks pretty, but like tell me some stuff about numbers. Like what do you actually see here?
So I mean, it is about lead generation. So the most relevant metric here would be in the end like the cost per lead. And as we have done a split test with a couple of clients, like on the one side would be like the traditional way, so ad, website, form, and then we have like the new way, ad, chatbot, and we saw a CPL drop of 50% there, which was pretty awesome. Yeah. And in the end, it was because the drop rate inside the conversation is so super low, because it's so natural. But when you're going to fill out a form, it's like, depending on the questions, it annoys you. Yeah. And we see that when someone starts this kind of conversation, it's actually fun for them. It's engaging. They want to answer these questions. It's new for them, and it feels like just normal in the end, and that results in a good conversion rate inside the bot itself.
But like the final results? You got more leads.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, so with the Audibene case, we got like 80% more leads, and in the end, cheaper leads as well.
Cool.
Yeah, so this was like one big case how you can directly profit from messenger marketing. And another one is, and this one is, I really like to talk about this one, is abandoned cart reminders. And basically, when I came into the e-commerce space, I thought that these kind of reminders were the most spammy and promotional thing you can do. Yeah. But I was totally wrong. In the end, I mean, every e-commerce store has the problem that they have like a shitload of abandoned carts, in average like 75%. And it's not because people are not interested in your product. Actually, they are interested in the product. Otherwise, they would never have put it into the cart. Yeah. But they get distracted somehow, or like the payment process was not like streamlined, stuff like that. So they just were stuck somewhere, or they get distracted and they did not were able to check the product in the end out. So with these kind of reminders, you can retarget them directly in Messenger. And this is so great because you have like these 90% open rates, 30% click-through rates. In the end, this results in 20% conversion rate on average in this case, when you send out these reminders in Messenger instead of email. And the cool thing is, and you see it on the right-hand side, that with Facebook Messenger, you're able to not just send text messages, but you can like use like graphics and illustrations. Like you see here, like one picture. So this would be like the product you left in the cart with a title, a subtitle, and a call to action button, which in the end brings you to the website again with the restored cart, and you can check it out right away.
Cool. And that's like auto-generated. Like it's not something that
exactly. So I mean, when you have the connection, so your shopping, your messenger provider, when it's directly integrated into your e-commerce store, then they will fetch the information like product image, title and price and stuff directly, and this got replaced dynamically.
Oh, I think I saw a question. Are there already native CRM integrations for lead generation, or do they need to be coded?
Oh, that's a good one.
That's for you.
So that depends somehow also on the product itself. So for MailChimp, I mean, is it your CRM in the end? But for Salesforce, so in our software, it's only the push thing is coded. So you can, when you have got data, like you have the chat structure and you have like gained a lot of data about your subscribers, you can push it directly to your CRM. That would be Salesforce in the end. What's missing right now is the pull functionality. That's only possible with your CRM as an e-commerce store. So for example, if you have WooCommerce or Shopify, Magento, then we in the end have a direct integration. So that means that all the data of your previous customers gets fetched and is in our software. If you have a custom web shop in the end, you have to code this in the end yourself, but we have an API for that. So there's like a product feed where you can upload all your products.
That's a really good one.
So do we want to answer this question right away?
I mean, we can
like generic questions that I would answer in the end, but thanks for putting this question directly.
We'll get there.
If you have like questions depending on the slides and the topics we just talked about, we will answer them right away.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, should we? Oh wait, you forgot to talk about numbers. Tell me like what's really good about the organic.
Okay, the cool thing is, so we see like these high open rates and click rates, and this in the end results in an average conversion rate on a bank card reminders around about 20%. That means if you're able to retarget your customers, 20% of the people will then check out the products again. And yeah, we have seen like up to 5% revenue lift when people are like enabling abandoned carts right away.
Cool.
All right, so there was a lot of comparison with email so far. So what about email? Is email dead?
No, email's not dead. I've seen, so especially when I was doing GDPR research, I saw so many articles, email's dead, email's not dead. Email's not dead. We realized that like companies use this. It's a tool, it's a channel.
It's a very effective one.
Yeah, you can really send out your newsletters. You can send out abandoned cart reminders through that channel, but there's also better ways to do it. And so, like I said, email is not dead. We get that. But we want to let our customers decide where they interact with us. So if they want to interact with us on email, cool. If they want to do a channel that's a little bit more responsive, a little bit better in my opinion, well, let's go to Messenger. And we try to bring as many customers into that Messenger channel as possible because we've seen it, a Messenger customer is worth more than an email customer. And that's mostly because the click-through rates are better, the open rates are better, you can engage it better. So we had one client, Stay Cold. They're a company that does these really cool t-shirts based off of tattoo designs. So their base is usually a little bit younger than, say, the Aldebina case where you're selling hearing aids. But that's the cool part. They both use Messenger, they both use it very differently to target, but they still found a way to really contact their audience through that.
That's a surprise actually, that like in the Aldebina case, you have like this target group around about like 50 to 60, I would say, and they loved it. I mean,
because Facebook isn't just for 20-year-olds anymore.
That's totally true. I mean, chat itself is not. I mean, I'm texting with my mom actually. So.
So Stay Cool did this really cool campaign where they were trying to get those email subscribers and turn them into a little bit more valuable Messenger subscribers. And they did this through an email campaign where they had a contest. So what they did was they said, okay, we're going to make these custom t-shirts from our favorite artists, and we're going to give only a couple out. In order to get into this contest, you subscribe with us through Messenger. And my favorite part about this is they were really savvy with it. So not only did they get them to subscribe to Messenger, they said, wait, we're going to send you updates about this contest. We're going to send you the results through this contest. We're going to send this all to you in Messenger. And that really kept their rates really high, where they had people engage with it. And on the way, they sent them some cool products and they sent them news about the company. But in the end, it was the contest that got them from email to being a more high valuable Messenger subscriber.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, in the end, to wrap that up, is the channel, when you have email and when people are engaged on your email channel, stick to it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, in the end, it's about the content. When you have relevant content and you have your customers, you want to send it to the relevant channel for them. And if you have some of your customers who want to receive this kind of news in Messenger, you have to send it in Messenger. If they want to receive this kind of news in email, send it via email. But I think bottom line, the content has to be great and the personalization has to be great. And the cool thing is that within Messenger, you have like, I would say like more possibilities to personalize better because you can just ask questions all the time.
Yeah, that's really true. Okay, so this is a question that we get sometimes is, can I keep my newsletter? And I would say that you can keep it if you want it, but I would do better than that. I would try to improve it. And newsletters are cool. They're great. We have pretty low click rates, open rates on them, but you can like put it in Messenger, and a Messenger newsletter is like an email newsletter on steroids. You can really engage with people through quizzes. You can ask them direct questions like, hey, do you like this? Yes or no? You can tailor that message to that person. And you can also share things like brand news, links to articles, videos, GIFs, images, all of the stuff you can do with like an actual interaction instead of just like a blast email that honestly doesn't really have a
I really like the ask question point here because I can, when I think back about the time I created my first chat campaign, basically I thought, okay, this might be a stupid question. I don't want to send this one out. But in the end, there is no stupid question. People they love to answer these kind of questions. This is pretty funny though. So if you don't have any information about them, just ask them.
Yeah. And for example, like in that Your Superfoods case, where they sent out a messenger quiz through an email or through a Facebook ad, they really kind of got the pulse of their customers. They got to understand a little bit more about their customers. They realized that a lot of their customers are more active, or like this type of sport, or like the way this type of smoothie looks, and they can kind of tailor their future campaigns and even products to that.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, Felix. So how do I actually start using Messenger, and what do you expect to see in the future?
All right, so so how do you start? I mean, for sure you have to, when you want to integrate into your business, you have to choose one provider, for example us. And as we are specialized in e-commerce, in solutions for e-commerce brands, we have this kind of direct integrations with these common shop systems like Shopify, WooCommerce, Magento, and this takes you like 50 minutes. I mean, in the end, it's like a 2 to 3 click integration because we have plugins for that. If you have like a more custom integration, so a custom online store, then you might, and that's basically also one thing Christoph asked here, is you might need some coding on your side because we have a public API where you can integrate all your CRM data and push it to our system that you can use it when you build up your marketing campaigns. But that's only the one hand side. So the other hand side would be, what use cases do you want to do? Like if you want to do lead generation, for example, you don't need like a direct integration with your shop system, right?
Yeah.
It's in the end, basically, you have like a Facebook ad and you create all this in your business manager and your ads manager. Then people come to the chatbot, you create this chatbot on your messenger provider, like Chatchamp, and then you have your CRM. And then basically what happens here is you have to push this kind of data you have generated in the chatbot to your CRM. And what we have here is, this is called a webhook. It's a little bit technical, but in the end, it's just like at a specific point when the subscriber like become a lead actually. So we gave you his contact information, like the phone number. We send these kind of data automatically to the CRM. And this would be something like this native integration Christoph mentioned. It's not like the one-click implementation integration, but it's really easy to integrate when you use Salesforce, for example. And for MailChimp, to answer that question at this slide, we don't have a direct integration, but you can always like use your subscriber data, download it, and upload it MailChimp, or use the webhook functionality, basically, that also enables you to push the data directly to MailChimp.
Cool.
So yeah, what can we expect in the future? So regarding Chatchamp, we want to enable like a lot of more features regarding the e-commerce space. And we did a lot of we put a lot of effort in all these shipping updates we are sending out, and they are like pretty good. The engagement on these kind of messages are super high, and that's why we want to focus on something like a net promoter score as well. So that means that when someone already has got his product, that we're just going to ask them automatically, like, how did you like the product? Would you recommend, basically? And depending on the answer, you can send a referral link. You can bring them to the customer support when he is unhappy with the product. And as you're like, when you're asking these kind of questions, you're like moving from marketing to customer support, right? Because when I ask you a question automized, how do you like the product? And you like answer, I don't know, your product was broken. How can I like get a new one and stuff like that? Basically, you want to, I mean, in the first place, you want to like push it to your customer support, but on a long term, you want to automate this conversation as well. And that's what we also want to do. So there's like an FAQ section, which will be published soon, and like the possibility that you automate your customer support. And that comes with NLP improvement. That means that the natural language processing, which in the end is that we really can understand text messages and we can respond to them.
So like if it says a message and it has the word like it was broken, and it can automatically push you to like, hey, this is how you get a refund or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And this is one thing which is already available in the States, direct payment. And this is also very cool. I mean, in the States, you can set up your payment method once in the messenger, like PayPal or credit card. And when you got these kind of messages, for example, these abandoned card reminders, you don't have to go to the website again, but you can buy it directly. Yeah,
this is going to be dangerous to so many bank accounts.
That's true.
Because that cuts out like that whole step. Like there's so many abandoned cards because I just don't have my card with me, or I just don't have the time to get out my card whenever I'm doing it, and that just cuts it out.
I mean, in the end, it's not about abandoned card reminders, right? I mean, it's also like when you have improved the whole conversation flow within the messenger, and you like are able to ask the chatbot, okay, this dress is red, but do you have the same dress maybe in yellow? And they push the product to you in messenger, and
that's so cool.
That fits, and you can also buy it directly. Yeah, and then we also have more channels, obviously. So WhatsApp just announced 3 weeks ago that they are already have opened their business API. That means that you can automate the communication between businesses and consumers. And iMessage, so Apple, did basically the same thing, but they're a little bit slow. But they really also want to push into this direction that they can like profit in the end from this automated B2C communication. And yeah, we see it on the eastern side in China, right? There's like WeChat, and basically there's the whole ecosystem of applications is already in WeChat. So people are only using this messaging application for basically everything. And I'm not sure if like in the Western market we are going to the same direction, but it will definitely improve. So the messenger function will definitely improve over and over.
Cool.
All right, guys. So sorry again that we messed up the start a little bit, and we were like, we messed up the start and we're a little bit late. But thanks, Caro, for your question. I will definitely, I mean, I can answer it right now. So basically what makes Chatchamp different from the other available solutions is that we are really focusing on e-commerce, and we have like these standardized campaigns already. We have the direct integration into your e-commerce store, which enables you to send out messages depending on a specific actions a customer did. So for example, abandoned cart. So a customer put a product in the basket but did not purchase. So I'm going to send them these kind of messages. And this could be like also like win back campaigns. So if you have a customer but he did not purchase a product in the last 180 days, I will probably not send him a message. So all these kind of campaigns you're able to create in Chatchamp because we have like this direct integration. Yeah, and we are also focusing on CRM integrations in the future. I mean, we have the webhook functionality, which basically enables every business to integrate your CRM within minutes if you have a little bit of coding skills. But we want to make this also like native. All right, so then we basically answered these two questions from Christoph and Caro.
And while other people are thinking and writing, I'm going to ask you one. Okay, I think you know what's coming. So you do this integration with Messenger. You know that it's working. You can track it. You can track the revenue. How does that actually work? How can I know that Messenger is the reason that I'm getting this?
That's a good question. That also fits into the question I just answered. What makes us different, basically, is as we have like these dedicated use cases and deep integration into your business, we are able to see actually all the steps in the funnel. So when a person comes to a website the first time, subscribe to Messenger, did not bought a buy, gets a message, comes back to your website, looks at this product page, then put it in the cart and buys. We can all track that because we have integrated a pixel on the e-commerce website, and this really gives you the complete control about the whole funnel in the end, which makes it very powerful because there are like two things. In the end, it's e-commerce based, so we really want to like track all the actions you're doing. And the other thing is that it gives you also the possibility to personalize your messaging in the end, because you see like a person who's visited your website like a lot of times.
Yeah.
And you may want to like send them different kind of messages than a person who just like visit your website and bounced right immediately.
But you can actually see that it works. You can see like this is the revenue that we generated from that. That's like
that's possible.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay, so we got any other questions?
Now we also got some answers for our polls.
Sweet.
All right, guys. So as you might see, there are a couple of links already in the chat, and so first of all, if you want to reach out to us, have any questions regarding messenger marketing in general or how to use Chatchamp for it, you can reach out to me or Betsy anytime. So I will also add Betsy's email address right here. And yeah, when you follow us on Facebook and LinkedIn, you will get the news updates about the next webinar actually, which will probably be in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And basically everything which is new in the messenger marketing space.
Yeah, and you can also actually try out a bot on our site too as well. And when you go to our Facebook page, you can check out some basic features, and you can kind of play around with it as well.
Yeah, that's very cool. Then we have a shitload of content regarding regarding GDPR, messenger marketing in general.
Yeah.
Like a short blueprint how to start, and you can find it all in the link, which is chatchamp.com resources webinar. And we are also going to add this webinar
to that resources page.
To this resource page. And yeah,
I think that's it.
I think that's it.
We covered the hardest question.
The second try was probably better.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so guys, thank you very much. We will see each other in probably 2 weeks again, and it was a lot of fun. We did it twice, so we had twice as much fun as you had. And yeah, thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Bye bye.